Alright, welcome back. Today we're running the AT in Maryland, Appalachian Trail. We just finished a strong downhill run and then we explored this park a little bit. So if you're interested in that, kind of go back to the last video. So now we're going to head back up the mountain. So that steep down we came down. Now we got to go back up. So here we go. Look at that. So hopefully you can see that. We got to climb back up this ridge here. We're going to take it easy. Just kind of a nice consistent effort here. We're going to get back up to Lamb's Knoll. Now it starts snowing. We'll have to see what it looks like. It's probably changed quite a bit. So here we go. So nice and easy, nice and easy. No rush. Just trying to keep moving. So let's see where we're at with elevation before we start. I think we were at about 1,500 when we started. So now let's climb, and we're gonna get about 1,500 more, I think, on the way back to Lamb's Knoll. We see how far up we've already come. Here, just down there. Super steep little climb up out of here. Woo! It's like stairs. Nice and easy. I don't want to go too fast. Gotta have energy for the whole climb. Speaking of energy, we get to the top of this little steep part. I'm gonna take some energy goo gel. Whew. Because I want to have the energy not only for the run, but the recovery. So, up we go. Oh. Yeah. This is tough. But this is the training I need. I gotta get used to this. I gotta get strong at this. Not just used to it. So if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, thanks for being here again. Or, well, being here the first time, I should say. Thanks for being here. Whether you're returning or not. How about that? There we go. And so, training for Transalpine. And so I started this channel as a way to share the race and also the training. So we're practicing filming, hopefully getting better at it. But let me know what you think in the comments. And I hope you enjoy it. But you know, if you want to see something different, you want to see me do more, let me know. But I will be doing lots of mountain running out here, because I need the mountains, because Transalpine is almost all mountains. So we're gonna climb and we're gonna get good at it. So if you too live in a flat place like me, and you want to get better at mountains and climbing, you can get on your treadmill or whatever, however you're watching this, and you can probably, for this, set your treadmill either to max, or if it goes up really high, maybe like 25 or 30%. This is steep. Starting to level off up here. So let's check our altitude gain here. Elevation, vertical gain. All right, that's pretty much, I think, the steepest part. Let's see where we're at. All right, 1,700. So 200 feet was that climb. Felt like more. Guess I need to be doing this more. All right, told myself nutrition. I definitely need to get a little of that because I've still got more to climb. So let me find my nutrition here. Let's see, which one did we pull out of here? All right, so pulled out another Second C30 energy gel. So 30 grams of carbs. This is good for about 30 minutes, 20-30 minutes, depending on the intensity of your workout. All right. Finish this up and we'll run this section here. Seems quite runnable. If you watched a couple videos ago when we first left Lamb's Knoll the first time and we ran down, you'll remember it was quite technical near Lamb's Knoll. So I do want to run and enjoy this flatter section while I can. But I gotta finish my nutrition first. There we go. Whew. A little water too. Stay hydrated, even if it is cold. All right. So I think this sign is one of the shelters along the AT here. So yeah, Crampton Gap Shelter. That's where we kind of wrapped up our initial downhill off of Lamb's Knoll. And then we had that really steep section and kind of walking through the historical park there. So then we climbed back up, and so Now we're going to keep climbing, but it won't be as steep. So here we go. This is nice and runnable. One of my favorite sections so far today. So try to keep a strong core, get myself in line, shoulders in line with hips, and lean from the ankles. Just using my poles for a little extra support because otherwise the footing can be kind of rough. So 4 feet better than 2 feet for stability, and lets me use my arms back just a little bit. Takes a little bit of load off of each step. So just keep pushing up the hill here. So you'll notice right now it's flirting a little bit. I don't know if it shows up on the camera. And that is sticking to the tops of some of these rocks. Just a little bit now. And then it did snow a few days ago, a couple inches or so, a few inches. Then a lot of it melted because it got up to about 50 degrees here and rained. But now it's cold. So some spots are a little icy. You just gotta be careful. You don't want to get hurt out here on the trail. You don't know how long it'll be until they can get a crew up here to help you. And that's assuming I can get a crew. Hey, good morning. Morning. And so, yeah, just take it easy. My hikers here. Morning. Maybe a Boy Scouts trip or something. A lot of young teenage boys, it looked like. Anyway, don't want to get hurt out here. Don't know when help is going to come. Or if you can even get help. Now, I think this area is trafficked well enough, even this time of year, by hikers like that. Somebody would come along and get me. But when it's this cold out, will they get you before you get hypothermia? That's the question. So we're just cruising on up. It's starting to get a little difficult, a little heavy breathing. So we're just gonna take it easy. Morning. Hey, good morning. All right. Just going up. keep it easy here. Keep it easy. I am pushing a tiny bit. I hear it in my voice here. But not a lot. Maybe as high as an RPE of 6 here. Just to really get that strength in the muscles as I run. So the next time I run mountains next week, I'm stronger. And here's leveling off, which is nice. Get a little active recovery as I go along here. Oh. Deep breath. Relax. So, just gonna check in with myself. How do I feel? You know, how's my head? Do I feel tired? Do I feel frustrated, anything like that? Right now, I feel good. Just enjoying this. That was a tough section back there for that climb. And overall feeling good. That nutrition I took is kicking in. And I'm feeling like I can go strong for a while. Just running along here. Excuse me. Even on this ice and snow, it's a little bit crunchy. But we can keep going. And so, just run along. In fact, as much as I kind of whine about the rocks and you know how jagged and technical some of them can be along here, the ground, because it's so icy and crunchy, it almost feels better to run on the rocks for some stable ground when you know the rocks aren't all jagged. But part of the reason I really like trail running is it does work some of those micro muscles, some of those areas that you just don't work on the road as much because it's so uniform. That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, thanks. Just keep on going. Have a good one. Yeah, and actually, didn't lie. I have no idea how far I've gone today. Try not to focus on that. So, in case you haven't watched some of the previous videos for this run series here, this long run, my main goal is elevation. Really want to get 1,000 meters, 3,000 feet. And so, we ran to the top of this mountain from north to south, so the north face of the mountain. And now we're running up the south face of the mountain, south to north. after we went back down it. And that should give us about what we're looking for. And just focused on how do I feel, you know? Just keep on going. Like I told that man. I'll know at the end, of course, when I stop my watch. But you can see I haven't set on the elevation. So it doesn't even tell me how far I've gone. Only how much I've climbed or descended. And then let's go by feel here. Feeling good. Feeling like I got lots of energy. Feeling hydrated. Glutes are working. Hamstrings are working. Abs are working. So I got whole back of my leg working to push me up these hills, which is what you want. And a little bit on the quads. Not too much. I actually feel the quads more on the downs. And so, yeah. Some runs I might have a distance goal, but mainly I want the elevation goal because of the races I'm targeting, and they have some steep climbs on some of them, so extended steep climbs. So, you know, maybe instead of 1,000 feet at a time, it's 5,000 or 6,000 feet at a time. So I just gotta practice. Some runs we'll go do that. Not today. Not with the weather being uncertain. So I think the forecast was maybe snow, maybe rain, maybe both. And it is overcast. And it did flurry a little bit. It's pretty much stopped by now. But if it starts raining, that could be bad. Because it's already cold. Now I do have on a rain shell, waterproof shell, which will help a lot. And I wore that because I wasn't sure about the weather. But it was still get colder and slippery on the rocks and stuff. Might even start refreezing because it's below freezing right now. So yeah. So we're just gonna keep moving here, chugging along. Getting up this hill. This is I would say like a 3 or 4% grade on average here. Not very steep, but pretty steep. So like especially at an extended time, if you're not used to hills or mountains, I think that'll get to you. And I'm not moving super fast, just chugging along. Oop, slipped on that rock. All right. I think we're getting closer to Lamb's Knoll here. Can't be too much further, I think. I haven't hit the really technical rocks that I remember though, so might still be a little ways. So yeah, I haven't been tracking miles or anything. I'm just running. And I'm glad you're here running with me. There we go. And yeah, you can see some of the snow that fell that stuck to the trail here into these rocks. So I don't think it's enough to be really slippery, but still want to be careful. It actually might be more dangerous where it's laid down like a thin layer and then slightly melted, as you can kind of see on some of these rocks, like in the centers, or where it's thicker or southern facing, so it absorbs more sun since I'm in the northern hemisphere, and so it's still warm enough to melt the snow. So that thin layer of water actually might be more of a problem than the snow. Anyway, so far, so good. Just starting to flurry a little bit again. So, just gonna keep on moving. I don't want to take too much time in case it starts getting heavier snow or rain, but I'm still keeping it easy, still keeping it RP 4 or 5, maybe a little bit of a 6 if I'm pushing up a hill. And so just moving along, try to get to Lamb's Knoll. Let's see how that's changed with the snow coming down now. Probably can't see nearly as far, but I'm sure it's still pretty. Land might start be turning white if it snowed down in the valley. So I think I started talking about my running history a little bit. You might be like, well, how does this guy go out and just run, all these for this amount of time, whatever. Well, like anything, it's a process. I feel like many people could train for a marathon in about a year, maybe 10 to 12 months from able to move, right? Like basic walk, if you can walk, around the block or something, or maybe, you know, jog a mile to a marathon. To do this trail running, I think takes a lot more time. I think there's just a lot of practice to it. Experience is a huge factor. You don't have always the comforts of a marathon where you have, you know, pretty frequent aid stations, maybe every 2 or 3 miles in my experience, that give you Gatorade and maybe some energy gels, water, you know. Done a couple of ultras where the aid stations are every 10 miles. So you gotta be a little more strategic, plan how you're gonna do it. And I think, you know, obviously the terrain here, right? It's not a nice smooth road, not even a nice smooth trail. This is a little bit technical and stuff. So, it's just been years. I've been ultra running, trail running for about 7 years. And it took me, you know, and I'd been running for about 5 years before that on the road, and had built up to doing marathons regularly. And so then I tried ultra marathons, and I just fell in love. I love trail running, and I love the races and the atmosphere. I mean, you know, most people in my experience are pretty nice by default. And I think you've seen that kind of on the people we've crossed here on the trail. And yeah, the ultra running community is just super friendly in my experience. Like, everybody was just, you know, has fun talking about whatever they've done. And I don't think, you know, everybody's impressed with everybody, no matter whether they ran a 50K, you know, and it was their first ever, or they've done 200-mile, you know, plus races, right? It's just a good vibe, and it's just chill, and I love it. And so I just run, you know, and it's a nice way to stay in shape, stay fit. So if you're interested in doing this sort of thing, I would say start slow, very slow. Maybe go out, find a trail that you hike a couple times and get comfortable on. Like, you know where all the rocks are, you know where all the trees are that are fallen, things like that. And then after you've hiked it, doesn't even have to be a lot, maybe a mile or 2 miles, and then try to run it, you know, just slow, maybe even only a section of it where it's like nice and easy. And you run a little bit, and then you walk a little bit, and you run a little bit, you walk a little bit, intervals. And over time, you'll get really comfortable on it. And then you can start increasing your distance. Start trying trails you're unfamiliar with. You know, and as you gain the experience, you start saying, oh, I've never run this trail before. But I've experienced rocks. I've experienced roots. I've experienced rain. I've experienced snow, ice, wind. You know, and you know how to dress. And you know what to bring for supplies. And then, you know, you'll build up. And, you know, maybe after a little while, you try a trail 10K, trail half. Those are races out there like that. So then you build up. You build up and you build up. And if you're a road runner, you've never run trails, same thing. You might get to a distance sooner, right? With less time training than somebody who's brand new to running. But the difference in foot placement, micro muscles, equipment, nutrition, hydration is different. It's all different. So, you know, you might be a sub 3 hour marathoner on the road, and you go to a trail and it takes you 5 hours to do the marathon or something, because it's just that different. And that's okay. I was like a 3:30 marathon runner on the road, and then I did my first trail, and I had some hubris, and I was like, oh, it's only 5 more miles, no big deal. Should only take me about another hour, right? So I was targeting like a 4:30 50K, and it actually took me 7.5 hours. I was that unprepared for what a trail ultra marathon 50K, even a flat one. It was a flat one. It's like 2,000 feet over the whole 50K. You know how different that is. But I love it. I love this. I love the solitude. I like the quiet. I like the views. I like the downhills. I like the food. You know, like nobody in ultra is like, don't eat that donut. They're like, here, have a donut. You want 2 more donuts? Like, eat. All right, it's just such a different experience. And everyone I run with is generally pretty happy and chill, and you know, that's true for road running too. I think road runners that I have run with, though, are a little bit more intense a lot of the time. You know, they want to go fast, get a Boston qualifier, or you know, qualify for one of the other majors, stuff like that. So, and the trail runners, they are, you know, they want to qualify for certain races, but the way you qualify is not usually by getting a time. It's by completing a distance of equal or more challenging. So a lot of people, you know, want to get into like Western States and Leadville and UTMB, right? These really famous 100-mile distance ultra marathons. And to do so, you know, a lot of people sign up. So you got to win a little bit of a lottery, but you also have to qualify for the lottery as well by proving that you've run another technical 50 or 100 miler, stuff like that. Or like UTMB, you got to collect points. I think they call them stones or something like that, by completing a number of other qualifying races where you accumulate points. So I don't necessarily aspire to those races, because I like the solitude. I like, you know, not having super mega commercialized, sponsored everything races, even though I understand that it's important for those races, because it's not cheap. You know, there's a lot that goes into those races, right? Like, I mean, you're planning a race that could last a day and a half, 2 days. You've got weather, you've got, you know, runners who get hurt, or, you know, commit to it even if they're sick, or, you know, maybe not in as great a condition as they were when they got their qualifying points or whatever. And you've got elite runners who are so fast. So I get it. Money makes the world go round, sort of thing. But yeah, it's just I don't aspire to those. I just like really challenging races. Things that challenge me in new ways, I should say, even if they're not really challenging. So, you know, it might be, for me, 100-mile race would be a new challenge because I've never done that distance. I've never run 100 miles continuously. Or, like the races I'm doing this year are all lots of vertical gain in terrain that I'm not as familiar with. And so there's a couple of challenges with that, obviously. And that's why we're out here climbing mountains today. So let's do a little check-in. Let's see how far have we climbed, because we're starting to hit these technical rocks. You may have noticed I've been kind of walking and talking for a little while because these rocks are getting more jagged, more ice along here. And number one rule, as Tommy Ribs says, is don't get dead. I don't think I'll get dead, but yeah, I also don't want to. So just don't want to get hurt. I think we're almost. We gotta get it. We get back soon. I can see the valley over there to my right, and yeah, we're at 2,000 feet of ascension. So that might still be a bit more to go. Alright, but I want to get you guys up here, and I want to see the difference with the weather before I run back down. So let's get up here. Alright, pick it up a little bit. Starting to get a little chilly though too, so even if it is technical, more effort. Oh, there we go. Oh, these jagged rocks. All right. Keep picking up the feet. It was challenging to run. Using the poles help me kind of stabilize as I hit a rock. Help me bounce over it and keep moving. All right, goodness. There we go. Getting up the hill and over the rocks. Whew. Brisk wind blowing at my face. Makes it feel nice and cold. There's a rock formation in front of us. It's pretty neat. And it looks like somebody just like crushed it. So it fractured everywhere. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Man. Alright, nice and warm again after running all those technical trail uphill. So I'm going to take a little bit of a little energy, nutrition here, so I can keep going. And yeah, try to take some 20 to 40 minutes. It keeps me feeling good. All right, so we've got another carbs fuel, 50 grams. Let's get that down. So it tastes a little bit like honey. Makes me wonder. I should look it up. Wonder if people before manufactured nutrition would take honey with them on long trips as a sugar boost. Look that up. I didn't think so. People weren't dumb. If they needed the energy. All right, AT. All right. Okay, my pole's locked back in. Let's get to the overlook again. I'd say again, if you hadn't watched the previous video where we reached Lamb's Knoll from the other side, go back and watch that one. It's a challenging, steep hill climb, steeper than this one. Yeah, so if you're looking for a challenge, go do that. And then if you want a nice recovery, a couple will be a downhill after this, going down steep downhills on the other side of the mountain where we climbed up. And the ones before this, it's a couple of nice, easier rolling downhill runs you could watch. So here we go. Just rolling along. Try to stay warm against the ice and snow. Oh, God. Just take a nice deep breath in. So back to a checkpoint on our map. Bear Spring Cabin Trail. You can run down the hill, and I think this does like a horseshoe in that area. But we're gonna follow the white trail, main trail here. Head back. Another gentle climb, 6%, maybe 8 some parts. Go. Still going up. So this is kind of steep, 12%, but I'm trying to just keep moving, keep running, a little bit stay warm, but also make sure I get the proper muscles worked for my races, so I can be nice and strong for those and run uphill for a while. So we're getting there. Just trying to go nice and easy. Nothing too hard. Keep my breathing under control. Keep good form as well as I can on these trails. And always forward, always moving. And I'll get there. And thank you for being here with me. So you can see what this is like. Maybe see a part of the world you've never seen before. So this is kind of the middle section, the Maryland Appalachian Trail. Just going easy on these rocks. They're a little bit too big, I think, for me to just kind of bounce across. A little too awkwardly spaced for where I'm at in my training right now. So I have to keep track of that, and maybe I'll come back through here at some point and we can see if I can run that. But here, this is runnable. This is nice. Just a light dusting of snow on the trail that wasn't here when we came through the first time. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what it looks like up here at the top again, when we can look out over the valley. Just being careful. So pretty, so quiet. You can just hear there's a jet going overhead, but otherwise it's just me and my footsteps and my breath. Okay. Now I know we're getting close because I remember this towel that was here when I came through the first time, and I remember it not being too far off of Lamb's Knoll, so just kind of power hike up through here. It's a little icy. Probably run just nice and gentle, smooth running. Climbing, focusing on my steps, putting power through my whole leg. Little steps until I have to do big steps to get up over these logs. There we go. Yep. Little steps. Little steps. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Gonna push. Try not to stop until I get to the top of this hill. This is tough. This is tough. Not easy. Oh. Almost there. Keep with me. Keep pushing this hill. Alright, I think that's the top. Look at that. Nice and even again. Whew. My legs are burning a little bit. Breath and heart are okay, but the muscles had to really work there. Alright, keep on pushing up a little bit. This one's shallow hill compared to the other hill we just came up. Man. Very slight downhill here. Still snowing a little bit. Some flurries. careful on this ice. Oh, here we are. Look at that. We made it. Back to Lamb's Knoll. So we're going to pause. Look at this again. Looks like it might only be snowing up here on the mountaintop. Yeah, this rock now, look at this. This rock is covered in snow. And before it was bare. All right. But yeah, look at that. And yeah, we can see like not even half as far as now. It's kind of crazy. But it is beautiful. Even if it is overcast and snowing. I like this. I like this a lot. Alright. So I'm gonna take a little nutrition, but that's where we'll wrap up this video. Just looking out over the valley here. And I'll see you on the next one.